Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Dallin Fawcett, and we're going to be taking a look at the midterm exam for Dr. Seibi's computer-aided engineering class. So, what we have to do is um, draw the bottle, draw the cap that goes with the bottle, and of course, this video is going to be right here. The detailed steps on how to sketch both of those, and of course, create an assembly of both of them, which should be quite easy. But if you're new to SolidWorks, I'm going to take you step by step, explain everything here, just out loud, so best of luck. Hopefully my thought process comes across nice. So there I just clicked Control and then bracket. What that does for a lot of PDF viewers, I'm using Chrome just as a PDF viewer, because I like that, is it rotates the document, because normally this is oriented like this, but that's a pain to look at. So there we go. Just Control and bracket. Got everything, all the drawings nice and oriented the way I like them. So here we go. We'll have this guy in the background, and we're gonna boot up SolidWorks. Here we have. Go to a new part and let that boot up. So looking at our bottle, the very first part we're gonna do, we can see there's a section drawing right here. And two things strike me immediately as something that we're gonna want to take into account. First, right here, this line of symmetry. If you can see that, you have we're essentially going to just do a revolved extrusion around that axis. That's going to be the very central axis, essentially, that you could spin that thing around. And that's how we're going to create this 3D object, since it has radial symmetry. Second is how our dimensions are, how they're listed. So it looks like we could just create dimensions here, and since we're given a uniform wall thickness, we'll just do offset entities. Simple SolidWorks command, and it'll give us a uniform wall thickness. Then we'll probably have to add these 0.1 inch radius fillets. And we'll be good with the bottle, I think. So let's take a look at that. So go into Sketch, Line. I'm actually going to do a drop down and just click Center Line. You can choose any plane, really. I'm going to choose the front plane. And there we go, 90 degrees up. So, no shame in admitting it, but that wasn't very good looking. That was at some kind of orthogonal view. We want to do normal. So there we go. Normal to our sketch. And that just puts us normal. It has it all nice and facing. You can see the axes right here. It'll make more sense later. So, what I find the easiest thing to do... Oh dear. So there's a line. What I find the easiest thing to do... Oh dear. There we go. With SolidWorks is that you just do a rough sketch first of your object and then fill in the nitty-gritty later using Smart Dimension. So I'm just going to do that. Here we're looking at our dimensions. It looks like we got 1/2 inch for the neck of the bottle. So I'm just going to do that. 0.5 inch. Sweet. And then that body of the bottle is 2.5 inches. Also cool. So 2.5. I'm still using Smart Dimension right there, in case you're not familiar with that. And so, oh dear. Oh dear. Let's, well, if something like that happens, there we go. You can just click the view and it can fix things sometimes. So we have those dimensions, but what are we missing? We're missing the diameters here. So we see that inside lip, which is right here, or outside lip, is a diameter of 1.5 inches. And then to the shoulder out here, the outside shoulder is 2 inches. So that's what we're going to do. However, if we want these to be diameters, we're going to just click there, and then see how that drags. Over there it's 0.44, over here it's 0.88, double. It goes from radius to diameter. So there we go. And so 1.5, just double checking, making sure. There we go, diameter of 1.5 right there. Then we're going to want to do that to this guy. So we're going to click him, click the axis that it's rotated about, making sure, of course, we're not doing radius. we're doing diameter. And give that a 2.5, just making sure. Nope, hey, see, there we go. This is why I catch myself. 2 inches, there we go. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So essentially what we have there is the basics of this. All we have to do is offset these entities using this offset entity tools. And we'll get a uniform. Oh dear. So you gotta make escape and gotta make sure I'm not in smart dimensions. You can see this being graded in I am still sketching, but I'm not doing smart dimension. So I'm just going to click offset entities. I'm going to click that guy, and there we go. We can see an outline of what we have already. However, I did say that those diameters for like 1.5 and 2 inches were the outside shoulders. So if we look here, that'll create even larger diameter shoulders. That's not what we want. So if we go over here, there we go, reverse. You can see the preview has reversed it. So I'm just going to click OK there. And it's not grayed out yet. You can see there's no filling in between these two lines. We do want a filling though. It shows it's an actual like solid object. So I'm going to connect that point to that point. Cool, cool, cool. And we're going to connect that point to that point. And there we go. It's all grayed out. Beautiful. I think we're good there with that line. Now, we could do fillets either before or after, because we can tell these are definitely nice rounded edges. And here we have 0.1 tip, or typical, saying that all our fillets are generally going to be a 0.1 radius inch measurement. So, I'm going to put that here, here, and here. And since they're all the same radius, since it's typical, hey, look at that. Oh, no, it's still stuck on offset entities. Did I do that? I might be tired. Here we go. Yeah, fillet tool. It's alright. Let's take that a little slower for you. Right there. There I am pinging it. Sketch fillet. So there we are with the 0.1 inch radius that we want, since it said it's typical. I'm just going to click that there, that there, that there, that there, that there, and that there. Now we're not going to fill in anything up here, because if you look at the file, the drawing, it's very clear that it has a square shoulder on top. We're not going to be filleting over all that. So, see? Looks very nice. Very sharp edges there. Everything else is nice and rounded. Actually, you know, I might have missed this. Let's get rid of this guy, because that is a square shoulder. So, if that's just an engineering drafting thing, or if that's actually because that's what it looks like in production, I don't know. But let's undo those fillets. Let's see if that's 0.10. We can just delete it. Alright. Now let's see. Yeah, this point is filleted though, so I'm going to leave that. See if we get what we want. Oh dear. I must have done something there. So, we'll just start over again. Clearly it didn't seem like it stuck. So, fillet, correct diameter. Now we're going to choose our entities. We're going to click that and that. Click that. Alt-tab back over here just to make sure we're doing what's right. Okay, oh. It's actually a sharp corner on the inside. So, we're not going to fillet that. We're not going to fillet this corner either. But we are going to fillet these corners. Alright. See? You can always make mistakes when you haven't written anything physical down. So, you can always go back and fix things. So there we have our object. So, we can leave the sketch, still highlighted though, and go to features, and here we have revolved boss/base, and that's exactly what we want. The axis of revolution will be that, and oh snap, we got a nice little preview. Everything looks good. Click. And look at that. How pretty is that, huh? Now we can go to our views here if we want to change that, just to make sure everything looks alright. And it looks pretty good. Look at that. That looks identical to what the CAD drawing said we needed. So there we are, double checked just for quality, making sure everything's good. And that looks perfect. So there we have it. I'm going to save that on the desktop. Got all sorts of 3D printing files there, so pay no mind to that. So I'm just going to say midterm bottle. Right on. And we'll save that. And we'll just go to File and New up here. New part, because that's what we're doing. And now we'll start working on the cap. So going back to our PDF. There we go. Ain't that cool? Ain't that a kick in the head? Alright. So, once again, what do we see? We have an axis of rotation. So, we can do the same thing we were doing before. Just create part of it and then do a revolved boss/base. We do see there's 2 section cuts, though. And it's interesting to note that essentially we have a rigid top and that these little ribs that we can see here on the side, I think it's pretty important to note that those are essentially cut down from the solid top. So there's more than one good way to skin a cat, right? I'm pretty sure we've all heard that old adage. The way I would do this is I would just create this bottom section first, then create a circular array, rotate around that point of these little dots. And then I'd extrude them. I'd extrude them to the same layer. And then I would put in that cap on top, that solid piece there. And it says it's 100 thou thick, or 0.1 inch thick. And I think we're good to go. Yeah, that looks good to me. So, now to put the words I just said into action. I'm going to go to a center line. And let's just do the top plane, because I guess it doesn't really matter. See, important thing to note with SolidWorks is you really got to make those connections with the points of interest. So I'm going back center line and actually connect it to the origin. And just drag that thing up. Cool. Very, very cool. And like I said before, I'm just going to do this part right here. Very, very simple part. Right there. Bam. So that's solid. I mean, we could rotate that right now. Just go to features, bam, revolved, boss/base. But we don't have anything smart dimensions yet. So we're going to want to get that taken care of first. So it looks like this inside diameter is, that's not working as a diameter, that's going to be a radius. That would give us way too big of a cap. There we go. And now with that, we'll have a diameter. Diameter of 1.5 on the inside edge. And the outside edge looks like it is... Oh, hey. Look, it just auto-selected that for us. 1.8. Perfect. And looks like it's ½ an inch to the top. 0.5, enter. Perfect. Right. So we still have this line right here undefined. So it's clear that we don't have the thickness for that defined yet. So we see that, the top to there, from here to here we see is 0.1 inch thick. And there we go. All our lines are black and are therefore defined. Perfect. So, I'm just going to go to Features, revolve that, and then bam. We have the beginning of our cap. Now this is just this solid area here. I've done it this way, you could do it some other way, but the way I think would be easiest and most accurate is doing that solid area, adding on these little cutouts in an array, and then adding that solid top that attaches on top of the cutout. That last little layer with its chamfer or fillet, looks like. Alright, so I'm going to rotate this so we're looking at it from the top. Go to Sketch, Sketch, and then click the top of the surface of that thing. And then rotate normal. Sweet. So I'm going to put down some center lines, just like reference lines. You could do these as construction lines as well, but, you know, to each their own. You know, have fun with it. You're your own boss. In fact, I think I am actually going to put down a circle. And, okay, smart dimension that circle. Say it's a diameter 1.8. And there we go. It should match our cap. I'm going to click it and then go over here to Options for Construction. That means that we're not expecting this to be like an actual additional thing yet. We just put that circle down, but we want it for our personal use. And we're telling SolidWorks, don't freak out, because SolidWorks will freak out over anything. You leave one line just somewhere that's not a center line or a construction line, and SolidWorks will freak out. And then you'll have to hunt it down. So, like, be tidy. So here we see that these little holes, or not holes, these little circles are a diameter 0.1, and there's 50 of them arranged in a circle. So I'm going to put one right here. Oh yeah. Perfect. Give that little guy a diameter of 0.1, enter. Nice. Now, let's, we see here we have linear. If we hit the drop down, we can get to a circular sketch pattern. Usually it helps me if I just click that guy. Oh dear. Got to exit smart dimension. If I click that guy first, then the drop down arrow, and then simply, I'm not holding any keys down, just clicking circular sketch pattern. So there it understands, yes, that little circle is the thing that I want to have rotated, like a lot. Wow, look at that. It understood, yeah, you probably want it around that thing, and we're going to make 50 of them, because that's what our sketch told us, is have 50 of them. And that looks perfect. So there we go. I'm going to click the sketch, go extrusion, and then reverse the direction, so it's going from the top here, going down, and go up to a surface, and we can choose our surface. I'm going to say go up to like this surface. What? That's not what I wanted to do at all. That's not what I wanted to do. Oh, yeah, oh, that's the from. This is, let's just leave that sketch plane. We put the sketch plane where we want it for a reason. Jeez, I'm making all sorts of mistakes. And you're learning with me. So here we go. We have up to surface. And now we can choose our surface. Bam. Oh yeah, look at that. Now that looks like the little ribs that our cap needs. Ta-da. So there we go. Perfect. All we have to do is make that solid top piece to it, and we'll be good as gold. And we know that solid top piece is 0.1 inch thick, and that looks like it's a fillet of radius 0.1 inch. So cool. So what we're going to do is want to look at this guy from the side. Top plane's called that. So we'll go to top plane, say normal to it. Cool, cool. And then go to sketch and then sketch. That way we should be sketching on the top plane. I would just connect this top there we go, just like that. Making a nice, neat little square. There we go. Now we know that we want this to be 0.1 inch in thickness. Awesome. Then we can add our fillets. Oh no, let's not do that yet. I may have created a problem. I may have created a problem for us. So that's not going to work. I mean, I could try to create an axis in the geometric center of this object, but why would I do that? Alright. We're giving up on the sketch tree. And delete. Oh no. Yep. And delete. Yep. Please delete it all. Thank you very much. Alright. So what do we want to do? Let's sketch on the surface of this thing, and then we'll just extrude it up and then add the fillet later. That could work. So, oh dear. Nope. We're going to sketch. We'll click sketch, then we're going to click the surface of this darn thing. Alright. We're going to click normal too. Very nice. Now, if we look back at our sketch, it says that the diameter of this outer top piece is 1.9, which makes sense. You know, adding the 0.1 to the 1.8 that we had before. See, these guys are diameter 0.1. You have 2 on each side, so, and it's adding that to the 0.2. So, half your diameter, but 2 on both sides, so it's equal to the diameter. And you're adding that to the existing diameter. Math! It works! So there we go, 1.9. Click. So now we gotta make sure, yep, we sketched them on top of that thing. Now we're gonna extrude, and we see the arrow right there, what direction that is. And it's already on our 0.1 inch that we want. So there we go. Extruding that up. Now, that looks like a little cap. However, we do want our fillet. So I'm going to click this line on the top. Oh dear. It's a tough edge to find. There we go. That looks good. Bam. And there's our cap. Perfect. Now that's a handsome little cap, isn't it? That looks good. Just doing a little quality check. Right on. So then we can just go save. I'm clicking Control S. I'm going to save that as midterm underscore cap. And save it. Alright. There we go. So now we have both the bottle and the cap that we asked for. Now, even though it's not explicitly on here, saying, hey, you need to do an assembly. I don't see Control F. Nope. Looking for assembly. It's not on here. Oh well. Talking to Dr. Seibi, it sounded like he said, yeah, do an assembly. I mean, why not? There is this picture right here. So, let's just assume we have to replicate that picture as well. We're going to create a 3D assembly by going to File, New, and instead of clicking Part like we normally do, we're just going to go to Assembly and then click OK. It's going to take it a second. And so here we have the parts that we just created are over there on the side. I'm going to click the bottle and then just place it in there, because the first item that you put in there, like this F denotes right here, is actually going to be fixed. So a lot of the geometries and spatial relations and mating, as we'll see in the future, are going to be like relative to that. So I'm going to go to Insert Components again, and hey, here we go. There's a cap. Awesome. So I'm going to go to Mate, and that is how we set these geometries essentially in relationship to each other. So did I get the right thing there? Yeah, it looks like I got the inside face of this ring. If I click the outside face of this ring, I should try to make the two concentric. But there we go. It did not go in the right direction. Mating can sometimes be a little silly. So it did something dumb like that. Let's try to rotate this guy into place first. Maybe if we put him up. Yeah, and SolidWorks won't randomly move him into some, like, crazy position. So, mate. Oh, no. So I had something highlighted there. I don't want to do that. I'm going to actually try mating this flat surface. No, this flat ring, just the ring, to the ring here. And that should try to make them concentric. You know what? Let's just try this. And let's see if we can't flip this guy around. What a funny little error. So I'm going to Control Z, and undo that mating. Jeez, that's a lot of stuff. Oh well, we undid the object. So let's look at this cap again. Is there a way that we can do this so it'll be easier for us? That's translating. We do want to move this guy rotationally. That is difficult. Smart fasteners, move components, rotate components, drop down menu there. Thank you. Now we have the cap more or less oriented in the right way. I'm going to go back to move components, because move components sounds nice. There we go. I'm going to click the check mark, make everything nice again. So, now we can do our concentric mating and it should work. Going on the inside surface of essentially that cylinder, and the outside surface of this cylinder should move those, bam, to where they're nice like that. Now, if we want, we can move this thing up and down still, so that's kind of cool. However, a bottle usually has this flat shoulder resting against the cap's flat top, or inside. So we're going to try to mate those two surfaces. You know what? I don't like it when SolidWorks just automatically guesses, even if it sometimes guesses seemingly correctly. Mate, nothing selected in the mate selection right here. Perfect. So that face to that flat. Ta-da. There we are. The bottle can still rotate. Our lid can still rotate. And the bottle can still rotate, probably. No, it's fixed. It's the fixed object. But there we go. Good to go there. I don't see anything here in this assembly talking about, hey, it's got to be a very specific thing. So there we go. We have our assembly. I'm going to just save that assembly as, sure, rebuild and save the document. Perfect. I'm going to assembly and then underscore bottle and cap, and then save it. And there we are. That is everything. I hope you've had a good time. Hope you were able to learn something. If you're new to SolidWorks, or, well, if you're grading me, then hopefully this is enough explanation to let you know where I'm coming from. So, hope you have a good day and have fun.